well. Pardon my very strange setup. I'm actually in my daughter's bedroom right now. As I had mentioned before, my studio is currently unusable. So I wanted to get a video out this week, so I thought I would just do it here. So I'm just using a harsh overhead light that's in here, and I'm standing up right under it, so I probably don't look the best right now, but we're gonna just go with it. So Darren over at Real Talk Yorkshire has come up with 7 more questions for our community here on YouTube, and I thought I would give my answers. By the way, I can't quite access all of my movies at the moment either because of the studio situation. So some things might not have a movie to hold up and show you. If that's the case, I will insert a photo. So the first question is a movie with extreme weather. And my first thought was The Thing, because they're in Antarctica, I believe. And so that's kind of a given. But then I figured that's kind of a given. So I went with Do the Right Thing, which takes place on the hottest day of the year, that year in New York. So we'll go with that. And the heat has a lot to do with the tensions that arise in the neighborhood. So it kind of plays more of a role in the story, I think, than the weather in The Thing does. The second question is the first movie that scared you. Now, if you're familiar with me, you probably already know the answer to this is An American Werewolf in London. Yes, I have several versions of the movie that traumatized me as a small child. My second answer would probably be either E.T. When the guys from the government come, it's terrifying. It's still kind of spooky even now. But yeah, we'll say E.T. And another one was Bambi, of course. I think a lot of kids were traumatized by Bambi. An amazing child actor performance is question number 3. And I would refer back to E.T. for Henry Thomas. Since I just sort of chose E.T. for the previous question, I will go with these 3. Yes, 3. Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense, the entire cast of Stand By Me, and Jesse Bradford in King of the Hill. He's the lead, and he was only 13 years old at the time. And he does an excellent job. But if I had to narrow it down to one choice, I would have to go with Stand By Me, and I would have to choose River Phoenix. The fourth question is a true crime film, and I went with Dog Day Afternoon. This would also qualify under the extreme weather, because this, as with Do the Right Thing, it took place on the hottest day of that year. The funniest thing about Dog Day Afternoon is the stuff that seems like, oh, well, that must have been embellished for the movie. That's the stuff that's actually true. Question number 6 is a film with a car chase. Now, I'm going to steal Blue Roy's answer and say One Battle After Another. I don't currently own that one, so we're just going to put a picture here. But yeah, it's a really epic car chase, and there's really nothing else I could come up with that would top that. That was question number 5. I may have said 6. Now, number 6 is 3 living directors that you like. And this one hurt me a little bit because one of my favorite directors passed away in December. And so his name popped into my head right away, and then I went, oh no. So, yeah. On a lighter note, I'm going to go with Wes Anderson. These are a few of my criterions I have of his. My favorite being The Darjeeling Limited. My second favorite, I think, is The Grand Budapest Hotel. In my hand here, I also have Fantastic Mr. Fox and The French Dispatch of the Liberty Kansas Evening Sun. You probably know what all 4 of those have in common and which shelf I got them from just now. The second director is Steven Spielberg. Yes, a basic answer. I know he gets a lot of flack. His fans get a lot of flack for being basic. But I mean, the man has directed amazing, iconic films like Jaws. Jaws alone would put him in the conversation, in my opinion. But then you have E.T., you have Close Encounters, Schindler's List. I mean, hello. Lincoln. I mean, it just, yeah, he's had a stellar career. So you really can't argue with that. Well, you can. And the third one, I considered Ben Stiller. I considered Christopher Guest. But ultimately, I had to go with Tim Burton. These are just a couple of mine that I love. Sweeney Todd and this fabulous Steelbook of Edward Scissorhands. I have more of his films, but these are the two I could grab easily because this one was on the Diane Wiest shelf, and this one I recently picked up, so it was still in a bag from the video store. And the final question is a movie you like that has below a 5 on IMDb. And they go out of 10 there, by the way, so it's not quite the same as being under 5 on Letterboxd. But I'm going to go with Solo. Yes, it's cheesy 90s fun. It's about a cyborg. The tech is horribly dated, but it's fun, you know. And Adrian Brody plays the doctor who built Solo. I mean, what do you want from me, people? Solo is rated a 4.1 on IMDb. I also considered On the Line, which is rated 4.2, but I used that as an answer in the previous 7 questions video, so I went with Solo. Thank you for watching. I hope to return to you in a slightly more normal fashion soon. Take care and happy collecting.